So I've been playing PUBG Mobile for about a year now, and the thing that I've realized in such a long time is people are noobs. This game is so casual that even the most pro players are casual. And this kind of pisses me off, because most of my teammates are noobs, well, usually, while others get to kick our ass and I get to carry the team. So I've comprised a list of bro tips and categorized them in the following way. Oh, and keep in mind that this is not your typical tips video where I get to say blah 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 and yada 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 and boom, you get more chicken for dinner. Hell no. This is the most in-depth analysis of PUBG Mobile, a summary of my 1 year of playing this game, coming from other shooters, mostly FPS, and it's a guide for extreme noobs or beginner players whether they play on phone or on emulator to get better. I'm not promising you anything, just that you will get better. Eventually. But before I shower you with my knowledge, you must sign a pact with me. So here's the pact. As you can see, you have to sign on these few things. Let's get started. First of all, you will practice every day. Chances are, if you're watching this video, you play every day. But I'm not talking about that stupid classic mode where you land somewhere away from humanity and loot until you get killed from 300 meters away by a person you never saw. In order to get better at this game, you need to understand PUBG first. PUBG is a survival game with shooter elements. This means the stronger your shooting side is, the longer you're gonna survive. And what's the best way to get better at ripping people with headshots and delve into the world of bloody horrors and frightening, ear-rattling sounds of weapons of abomination blazing through the thunders of fallen comrades under the devil's wrath inside the circle of doom? War. Sign, bro. Well, that's just the first thing to sign. As you can see, there's plenty others as well. Secondly, I will not be playing more than 1 hour. That's right. I don't want your mom to show up at my door with a knife in one hand and my death certificate in the other. For now, we're done with the essentials. Let's move on. Before the tips, I want you to take a look at my levels system. Here's how this works. Go play 3 solo wars in the server in which you get the least ping and the most stable gameplay. Get comfy, get some coffee, and see how many kills you get in each. Add these kills and divide them by 3. This is your average of 3 war solo games. Now put yourself somewhere on the scale according to your number of kills. 14 kills, you're Shroud. Nobody is Shroud. Not even Shroud himself these days. So no, you're not Shroud. You're not pro. You're nothing. 11 to 13 kills. You're either a pro league gamer or you're really serious about gaming. 8 to 10 kills. You're a gamer from childhood and you don't take gaming too seriously, but you enjoy it. 6 to 8 kills. Casual gamer. You enjoy gaming, you just want to relax, you want to have fun, you want to have a good time. That's what you're doing. 3 to 5 kills. You're new. You just don't know how to play the game, or you're just going through really bad luck. 0 to 3. You're a pro noob. You're like the epidemic of being noob. You're seriously the noobest noob on the planet. You have no idea how shooters work. I mean, shooting FPS games, and you just have no idea what you're doing. And that's why you should be watching this video. I'm a gamer from childhood, and I'm not serious. Now I have given you a progression system to see your progression. Use it. Okay, enough intro. Time for the big deal. The reason why you're here. PUBG Mobile Tips. The tips are divided into 8 different sections as I have shown you before. Setup. If you're on phone, try considering 3-finger or 4-finger control. If you do undertake it, remember, it will take a lot of practice to master it, but in the end you'll have the ultimate edge. YouTubers like Talk to Hand, Mortal, Panda, and Ezo all play on phone, but with more than 2 fingers. And they're still fucking better than me, god damn it. If you play on PC using emulator or laptop, do not mess with the original controls. They are absolutely fine. Instead, you should try to get used to those controls. Use a large mouse pad, emulator players. You're gonna need it. Consider buying triggers, phone players. They help if you're serious and don't want to do 3 or 4-finger gangbang. Sit as close to your Wi-Fi as possible. Use better microphones and headsets. For fuck's sake. Sit somewhere quiet. Moving on to the next section. Settings. Enable peek and fire. Phone players should turn this option to release. This option fires your Kar 98 or M24 or ARM only when you release the touch button, so you can aim while moving, even with just 2 thumbs, and tear off some headshots much more easily. You're welcome. For most people with a dedicated GPU, I'm looking at emulator players. Keep your settings on HD or balanced, and set your frame rate to extreme. Turn on anti-aliasing. If you experience any issues, lower all settings but the FPS. And this means disabling shadows and anti-aliasing. And keep your graphics on smooth though. For phones, I recommend you lower settings to smooth. Turn off the shadows, put the frame rate as high as possible, and disable anti-aliasing. Use the GFX tool or the BAGT tools to get more graphics settings on your phone for PUBG. These tools work. Turn the auto pickup for frag grenades to 3, for smokes to 2, for stun and molotov to 1. Emulator players, feel free to copy my sensitivity. Though keep in mind this isn't the highest sensitivity and you should always play on high sensitivity. Turn down the UI volume a little bit so your ears thank you later. You're welcome. Moving on to the next section. Maneuver. This seems like a small thing, but it's actually the very basic thing that differentiates between a pro player and a casual noob. You might have noticed that the movement of most pro players is seamless. It's so effortless and lightning fast that they don't give their opponents a chance. It is also key to get better at this game, to get more kills, and finally to start impressing your noob bros. I said bros, not hoes, cause you'll be single your whole life. You're doomed. Props to you for being a loser. Being so good at it. Move your ass. The thing about noobs is that they don't move at all. They don't move enough. They're afraid to move, they get confused, they slow down and overthink things before taking actions, which results in a very late response time, which results in, well, eternal doom. So just move, please. Be a hard target. If you suddenly start getting shot at, you should just jump, twist, strafe, do whatever you can and just get to cover. This will save your life more often than not than just standing still, leaving all hope and saying, "Oh, that's it, I'm dead." Save time by doing this because this is faster than this. Leave your gun to run faster. Duh. Use this to get to your dying teammates quickly. Remember, being a team player is key to win every game. Unless your whole team is noob. Assault rifles, especially the AKM, are the best trade-off between maneuverability and firepower. What I mean to say is that your movement in combat can be faster if you have an SMG, but the damage output will be less. Likewise, say a DP-28 will make you slower, but 3 shots from this thing is enough to rip people. So understand which weapon sets work best for you. I love to carry an AR and any sniper but the VSS because I just don't like it. So see which weapons you like and carry those. Moving on to the next section. Combat. Aim for the head. If you're a beginner, you must develop this habit. Always, no matter what. This will go a long way. Cover. Use cover to your advantage. Make sure that there's cover around you even if you're pushing someone. I mean, if you're rushing someone. Cover can make or break your wins, so be sure to evolve some cover tactics. Watch gameplays of other people. Wink wink. See how they use cover. Take cover, peek, shoot, take cover, peek, shoot. Use cover. I see noobs never using cover enough all the time. Relative cover. This is a term I just made up for this video specifically. It's one of those things that can differentiate between pros and noobs because if you're under fire from 2 positions, you can, just relatively get to cover, if you know what I mean. You have to use your cover as the best tool to avoid enemy fire and also to bust your enemy's butt. Firefights is all about who has the better cover. And I'm not making this up, this is true. Flanking. The art of flanking is something you must develop. It is only possible in squad games. Flanking is when you give your enemy no room to breathe. It means having one of your teammates rush from left, one of your teammates push from the right, have one of them push straight, and the last one can at least nade the enemy position. It means giving your enemy no room to escape. Clutch. You may wonder what if people flank me instead and I am F'd for life. Well, in that case, you need to keep up your cool and think fast. First of all, you need to fall back and get to cover. If you can't get to cover, your best bet is to run away in a vehicle. If that's not possible, use any cover you've got to your advantage. In these tight situations, you need to kill enemy players as fast as possible. Kill the person who is the most threatful first. This means the closest person rushing you, then finish off the whole team one by one and just pray that they forgot about those nades in the backpack. Again, maneuverability counts a lot here, so you need to be fast. Remember, take cover, move out and shoot, take cover. Move out and shoot, take cover. This is the thing you need to put in your head. Aim for the head! Relative aiming. If you are in a firefight, that is, if you and the enemy both know each other's location and the enemy is in cover, and let's say that he's going to peek you and you are rushing him, you need to keep up your aim as close as possible because it will produce much higher damage output when he peeks, and you will kill him before he kills you. that is faster. Prefire. This is like that redhead girl in college that everybody wants to bang at least once in their life, but only a few get this lucky. Analogies on the side. Prefire, as the name suggests, means to fire before you see the enemy on your screen in a firefight. This is the only thing that differentiates pro players from pro players. So use it, learn how to do it. You just gotta be aware of the enemy's position. Reaction time. Be fast. Stop complaining about the lag and just be fast. Do more practice and get faster. Remember, the longer you take to react, the easier you die. Game sense. This is the ability to judge an enemy's combat pattern. Will he come peek from the left? Will he peek from the right? Is there an enemy at the drop? Has the drop already been looted? Game sense can only be developed by playing with consistency. This is very subjective and you don't have to consciously worry about learning it. It just comes with playing more and more. Did I say aim for the head yet? ADS. Short for aiming down the sights. Very, very important in medium range. Why, oh why, people don't aim down the sights? Please, dear beginners, aim down the goddamn sights. For fuck's sakes. But here's the thing, don't do this in super close range. You will end up slaughtering yourself with the knife you left in that ugly kitchen drawer at your 12th birthday without even washing it, which still has some cake left on it, which you the fun guy has probably turned green and looks like some green zombie ass poop. Yummy. Strafing. Strafing is moving left and right when aiming down the sights and shooting at the enemy. It not only makes you a harder target, but it also prevents any unseen snipers to take you out. You can move tiny bits while looting and reviving to avoid a sniper's wrath and save yourself some brains while doing so. Do not panic when you see enemies. You lose the game the moment you lose your cool. Did I mention headshots? Pay attention to your surroundings. If you're engaging a target at range but hear someone close, you should probably investigate and get ready for close quarters combat. I have died many times just because I tend to focus on a target so much that I forget to take a note of my surroundings. That being said, always use headphones when you play the game. Not to mention, good microphone as well. It will save your teammates' ears. Prioritize your targets. Yeah. Weapon spray. Weapon spray is when you keep your weapon on auto and fire all hatred through that muzzle without taking your finger off the trigger. You should almost never spray at medium range because chances are you have 4x. Remember, the bigger the scope is, the harder it is to spray. Although if you have a red dot, I'd say yeah, go ahead, spray. And remember, M4 is the best weapon to spray, so noobs should always pick up the M4. Always spray in close quarters combat, because small bursts will get you killed. But always burst a small number of shots in medium range. And oh, always use single fire in long range because, yeah, I don't have to explain this one. Enough for combat tips. Let's move on to the next section. Weapon Mastery. In this section, I will be going over all the categories of weapons and give my opinions on the best and the worst ones. Pistols. The P1911 is the best and most versatile pistol in the game. Duh. But Chuck, ain't the revolver good? Revolver is good if your aim is like Shroud, which it isn't. And oh, don't even ask about its reloading time. It's like a one-legged turtle had a baby with a sloth. Even slower. Shotguns. Double barrel is the best shotgun. It has the most range, the most damage, and the least recoil, and it's just utter badass. SK-12 is the most versatile shotgun, and I would definitely prefer it if I was going to action. Pump action is just fine. SMGs. Vector is my favorite SMG because it's easily the most versatile, fast, accurate, and has a very controllable recoil. Its DPS is much higher than the UMP. UMP has good damage and is good for long range, given you have a 6x, which you don't. You don't even have a UMP. You're a noob. Uzi is beast for extreme close quarters combat. Uzi also has 0 recoil and is easily the best weapon for the war mode. Thompson just sucks. ARs. Assault rifles are the weapons of choice in this game if you wanna win. M4 is recognized as the best and most versatile gun in the game. It's 10 times better than the SCAR or the AUG. The SCAR is slow even though it's pretty good and it has a very controllable recoil, but it's just really slow and the AUG just sucks. It just sucks. I'm sorry. QBZ and G36C are actually very good weapons. Mutant is a gun that I have mixed reviews about. My personal experience with this gun is not the best. Maybe I need to play a little bit more with that gun to assess that. However, if you want to wield a 7.62 AR with 0 recoil, I would say this is the gun for you. Barrel. Barrel is the best AR at close range. It's a beast of a rifle and oh my god, am I a fan of this gun. It's also very effective against zombies. AKM is the best AR in my opinion, all factors included. I find it fun to wield it, and the recoil is just another challenge. It's fun to shoot the AK, and it's not for noobs. Don't believe me? Just watch this. Not to mention it has the juiciest sound effect which just simply pleases my ears.
But Chuck, doesn't the Groza offer the most DPS and isn't it considered the best AR?
Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me ask you this. What are the chances that you're gonna find a Groza in a match? 1 in a fucking million. I already said all factors included, which included pickup rates as well. The Groza is good though, but it's a gun for pros. You are a noob, and not a pro, damn it. DMRs. In my opinion, M16A4 is the best 5.56 DMR. Although it's not a DMR, it's AR, I know. The Mini 14 just sucks because it takes like 6 or even more bullets to kill a person, which is very stupid. Any kind of 5.56 DMR is rather stupid. SKS is the best DMR, all factors included. MK14 is very hard to control, but it's good. SLR is just fine. MGs. DP28 is the best weapon in the game. Period, all factors included. Not to mention it makes a great DMR when you have a 6x scope. Snipers. If you're playing classic, I would rather have you not pick up a Kar 98. Because 1, you are noob, and 2, people usually have a level 3 helmet which the car is useless against. And it's not like you're gonna headshot when you're gonna start sniping anyway, because you're not a headshot master yet. So goodbye Mauser Carabiner 98. M24 is my favorite weapon due to its beautiful sound. VSS is for those people who are ninjas. You are not a ninja. is the best sniper, all factors included. Let's move on to the next section. Actually, just kidding, the video is just getting too long and I'm about to end it right here because the last time somebody paid heed to my advice was exactly that time and year, which I don't remember. So sayonara. Actually, just kidding again, because I'm glad you're still here and of course you are. You selfish piece of shit. Here are your sniping tips. This is a no-scope. Always prefer the no-scope in super close quarters combat. This is a quick scope. Not very accurate, but fast. This is the almighty drag scope. I always drag scope because it is considered the easiest, the fastest, the most accurate, and the most efficient way to snipe. I recommend you take your time to learn the drag scope and master it. I will be giving a training drill so you can train your drag shot sniping skills in the near future. Just a heads up. How to snipe? Simple. Move when you aim, stop when you shoot. See? Now if I move while I pull the trigger, the bullet will deviate from its original path. You don't want that. Practice, 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 because I was just as noob as anybody when I started sniping in COD Modern Warfare 3, which is considered the hardest game to snipe in. It took me 4 months to develop an aim as it is now. It might take you less or more than that. I'm just being real here. Be fast. This is a no-brainer. Do not give your opponent a chance to shoot you first, but this should not come at an expense of missing a perfect headshot. Aim for the head. When a sniper pins you down behind some bad cover and seemingly there's no escape to it, it's called Sniper's Wrath. It's also a term I made specifically for this video. To avoid a Sniper's Wrath, use smoke grenades and run like a bitch. Run like Scream 3's villains doofies behind you. Run like a dog is about to bite your ass, and don't you dare fucking peek a goddamn sniper, you retarded dumbass. He has a one-shot, headshot, death shot weapon in his hand, and by peeking, you're inviting him on your funeral like, "Hey buddy, blast my head off because I fucking deserve it." The peeking game. It means to peek a sniper for a split second from both sides of your cover. Use it to distract him while another one of your teammates kick that sniper's ass sayonara. Or use smoke and save your own ass. Moving on to the next section. If you're against multiple enemies, take as less bullets as you can to kill them all. When an enemy is knocked down by you, give it 2 seconds to let him fall down before you shoot him to death. It'll only take 5 or 6 bullets that way, and you won't have to reload before facing the next enemy. If I'm wielding a 7.76 AR, I will always prefer a compensator instead of a suppressor. I will always prefer the extended mag over the quick draw mag, unless I find the complete package. Always have a red dot on one weapon and a scope on the other. A red dot is the best sight in the game. It's even better than having a 2x because it gives you the easiest aim. My longest kill with a red dot was 200 meters away, and I'm damn proud of it, damn it. I always prefer a level 3 helmet even if it's damaged all the way up. It will protect you from a Kar 98's headshot. Always prefer a fresh vest of a lower tier if your current vest is damaged more than 50%. Press space in water to quickly come back up. Drive zigzag through the bridge because it's usually camped. Well, you should drive zigzag usually always. Don't be afraid to mimic the playstyle of pro players. You will learn and get faster. but don't develop bad habits though, like over-aiming or under-aiming. Cook your nades. If you want someone to run out of cover, throw a nade. Any kind of nade will force him to think it's a frag and he will jump right out. Watch out for snakes. Don't be a snake. Nobody likes snakes. Decide wisely between carrying more ammo and carrying more health and lethal supplies. You don't need a lot of ammo, usually. In a quick match, don't carry a backpack. It slows you down. You should always play very careful in quick matches because it sucks to just rush and die stupid. Do not attract unnecessary attention. What I mean by this is don't take shots that you will miss on a high chance and don't shoot to give out your location, especially in the final zone. Follow your gut. If you thought you saw someone behind that window, chances are you probably did. Be careful. In war mode, play your team. It's perfectly fine to steal your teammates' kills and you should always be perfectly fine if a teammate steals yours. Remember, the goal is to get the most kills. Prefer a Dacia over anything. It's fast. If you'll be traveling in a vehicle for long, do not forget to carry a gas gallon. You're gonna need it. Learn to properly communicate. 240 left window, second floor is much better than shouting, there, I stand right there. If there's a platform diversity within your teammates, try not to play classic as it goes out to be a little unfair. Do not rush enemies without a helmet and a vest. These items are crucial for survival. Make use of smoke grenades. Cover supply drops and dying teammates with smokes and revive them. Make use of stun grenades, especially when you plan to rush inside a building. It's useless to go for the supply drop in war mode in an AR or SMG round. Always expect enemies to hunt you, always be on the lookout. If you have an old phone, get the app Clean Master or likewise and clean your RAM and hibernate your apps before playing the game. It helps with the lag. Always assess the way you lose or die in a match. Think about what you could have done better. This way, you will improve yourself. Have some friends whom you can play with on a regular basis. I have a bestie with whom I play with every Saturday, and he got frustrated with the game because he couldn't play it, and I have nobody to play with. The vertical and the angle foregrips are the best in the game. However, they don't really matter at all if you wield a semi-auto weapon, say an SKS. In that case, go for the light grip. Always pre-fire enemies who are behind cover when you're rushing them. Give your enemies a hard time. Don't let die easy. Don't pick up a sniper in classic mode if you doubt your abilities yet. If your teammate fails to communicate correctly, look at his pointer in the minimap. If he's shouting he sees enemies, chances are he's looking right at them. If you have a third-person camera advantage on someone behind cover, let them rush you. And oh, don't forget to pre-fire when you peek to shoot them. Don't peek a sniper. Please, get close to him first, then try to engage with him. Try to have fun and accept bad days. It's a game after all, you ain't gaining and losing anything. Always run zigzag. Always expect enemies. Always be on the lookout. When you're running for a very small play zone, always press Alt or use this eye icon to look around you for any threats. The farthest you can jump is 1500 meters, and your speed will be 127 kilometers per hour. The farthest you can jump with a max speed going down is 750 meters. Your speed should be 234 kilometers per hour. Don't get too close to windows before shooting someone. You will get blocked and die on a high note. Keep at least one bullet in your chamber to reload faster. Much faster. Try changing your seat if you're getting shot in a car. Watch this video more than once, because I have a feeling you're gonna need to. Conclusion? Aim for the head! If you like this video, then please like this video, because it took me ages to make under a very busy schedule. Much appreciated. I was planning to give some war-specific tips as well, but I respect your time and your ability to burn out yourself on a single YouTube video. Now go watch some memes.
Yeah, we some motherfucking track.